His butthole bubbled.
Blew his own ass out.
Wow. Hello, Sniper. Happy Thursday. Welcome back to the podcast. This is Not For Radio. We are your host, Dunc and Hi, Jay Reeve. Caution, this podcast will contain some swearing. A special guest on today's podcast.
Yes, well, a couple of special guests, actually. One from the States, which we've lifted his stuff, and actually two from the States.
Yes.
A couple of Americans feature on the podcast today, and also one of the greatest human beings to ever sit behind a microphone.
Also, how one bloke just playing a game of pool led to him having brain surgery. Someone else with like a three-phase 240 volt. Volt, not
volt.
watt.
Blew his arsehole out.
Holy hecker. Like, that's the end of the podcast today. It's an absolute beauty. Also, we do have the chance, if you haven't listened to any podcasts of ours before, at the moment we have the chance, and you've literally got like 24 hours to enter this one, to join us from anywhere on the globe in Auckland, New Zealand, for the final day of the radio station we work for, of the countdown we do every year. It's the Rock 2000 biggest rock songs as voted by the listeners from right across the globe. We do the final day inside the premier indoor music venue here in New Zealand. There's bands and stuff playing after. Me and Jay bring home the last 20 songs, and you get to hang out with us for the weekend. So if you want to do that, you need to become Sniper Elite. Just look at the episode description. There's a click through there. Do it through supporting cast, and it'll click through to Rover, which is the back end of our radio stations that we work for. And then you just choose what podcast outlet you want to listen to it on. And then in the Monday, Tuesday Sniper Elite episodes, there's about 250 Sniper Elite episodes sitting there. That is where you get your keyword and you put it in using the link in the episode description of that day. Very easy. You only need to enter once and get yourself the mixer. But if this could be legit the cheapest trip you ever have in your life, because it's spending money, accommodation, and obviously flights for you and a mate.
Yeah, we called Sam, who was just out of London, the UK, to let him know that he is going to be coming over. I'm not entirely sure. We haven't found out if he's going with a mate or if he's going to be taking the miso soup. But we will be calling that other person from wherever you are on the planet. This is exciting. Fucking exciting for me. I love this stuff because this is what it was. This is what we wanted to do in the beginning. The whole point of getting these subscriber episodes was to build up a fund which we could then tip back out into people and actually bring people face to face and move people around the planet and do cool shit. So this is the first of many trips, hopefully, and it's very exciting.
So, like I say, you've literally got like less than 24 hours. So if you've been umming and ahhing, then unlock all the extra content. It's like the price of a beer. Use the code NOT4Radio. I can't be more urgent than that because this time tomorrow we will be calling somebody and you might be like, holy shit, I listened to a podcast and now I'm going to New Zealand. What am I doing here?
From Finland.
Look at these two ugly buggers I'm hanging out with. Why did they put them on stage?
Yeah, we'll show you one hell of a good time because if you have come from the other side, we literally found out where the other side, the proper other side of the planet is. It's a little joint in Spain, España. So that's the furthest you can travel to get here.
Well, if that happens, it happens. So best of luck for the draw and any weird numbers that start with 6-4. That could be myself and Jay tomorrow. Enjoy the podcast.
Attention, snipers! Gear up and hold your positions. It's time to load up some war stories. Your tales from the front line, brought to life. Prepare to fire.
Okay.
This is exciting.
I know. At the start we said we've got a special guest. It's none other than the big dog, Roger Farrelly.
The greatest broadcaster to ever exist has joined us. This is great fucking stuff.
You know, people were thinking probably Simon Barnett, weren't they? You know, they got Barnett. The Not For Radio's got the gets number one in the podcast and Spotify. You get Barnett. It's me. I'm sorry. You were going to get to number two, but you guys are number one. So hey, you guys are number one on Spotify. Are you still?
No. It fluctuates.
That was last week, mate.
They pull a couple of levers, we shoot up, and then we piss off into obscurity again, which we don't mind. But this is, I mean, obviously for the international listeners, there'll be a lot of people that will be like, oh man, that is a voice from home. Because they would remember you, Roger Farrelly, aka the GOAT, been at the Rock since basically its inception.
Pretty much. Yeah.
Both myself and Dunc listened to you as I'd say a kid, but as a teenager, I knew whether or not I was going to make it to school on time.
Yeah.
When there'd be certain segments of your show with Nick Trott,
Nick, yeah, exactly.
I'll be hosing down the yard at the cowshed, and if this segment came up, I was fucked. I knew that I was going to be late.
Of
And then I
course.
turned into Colin McRae in the escort, and I'd
Yeah.
just be tail whipping every corner down the dirt road to get into school.
Which makes you remarkably younger than me.
Yeah.
When you tell these stories.
And I look, and I still
It's
look
like,
so
yeah,
much older.
yeah, which was going to be my next sentence. So it's
Yeah.
like, we look the same age. But
We do.
if you were a kid listening to me, and I was 94.
You're like 20.
So if you're talking 94, I was 2021. Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know, but 94, 95, 96.
would have been around there.
So started breakfast when I was 20 tail end, so 21 pretty much.
Isn't that
Yeah,
so weird to
yeah,
think now
yeah.
that you put someone into a breakfast show at the age of 20?
I know. I think
You look at Mitch and you go, fuck that.
Mitch is
I know.
basically 30.
Yeah, no, I know. I think that too. I think what were they? Because I mean, I was 20, and I just started, and I was 21 like a month later, and so I thought Nick seems so much older than me, but he was like 23.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he's the old guy. So he was the old guy at 23. They had no thought.
But
of-
also,
of-
management would have been really young too. Like, imagine
Because
giving
Brad
up-
still had dreads down to his ass, and he was about 17.
So Brad wasn't even there then. So when I first started breakfast, so Grant Hislop, he gave him my first job at Coastline. He running a station in Tauranga, 23.
yeah.
When he started
Who
that.
would give the keys? I mean, did he own it?
No, I didn't own it. It was owned by like a publishing company in Auckland. So, but he ran it with his father. But he ran the cutter. He ran the music. He
I'm
ran
not
the
sure
music.
Any
the announcers.
23-year-olds
Yeah,
run
yeah.
anything in 2025.
And
so,
they
yeah,
were printing money. And
Yeah,
this is when these
yeah.
are the halcyon days. This is proper
Yeah.
cocaine on desks and bottles of champagne for breakfast shit.
Well, was it? I heard that was the 80s. Yeah. But he started the Rock. He was 25. 25 running the Rock.
That's
Running
insanity.
pretty much the whole thing. Yeah. And he had a manager, but so yeah, I didn't have much to do with the actual boss. Grant Dennehy was his name, but Joe Dennehy, sorry. But then Grant was my boss at 25.
Never
and
in a-
I was 21.
Never in a million
Yeah.
years would you have thought that you'd still be going now, eh?
That's a very good question, actually. Yeah. I always thought that was going to end. I thought Nick and I would end. That's what I thought, because I thought Nick we'd just look. I just thought, because there was always rumours we were going to lose our jobs. Whether it was because we weren't rating, or stations get bought and sold, or companies merge. And I thought, that's how we'll get merged out. We'll get sort of like someone will take over and bring someone else in, or we'll get moved, and all that sort of thing. So I always thought that was going to happen. Yeah. Then I got to kind of late 2000s. And we actually started rating quite well. I sort of felt pretty safe I felt pretty safe then. Yeah.
But there's no real, like, there's no desire for you to leave and no desire for you to leave. So it's sort of like the end is just running out in front of you. Like, and then it'll come to a point where you just go, fuck it, I'm done. And then it's going to be absolute scramble
That
stations.
might be more it, I think.
Yeah.
Do you know what I like to think it's going to be like? There was an interview on 2GB with Ray Warren, legendary rugby league commentator, and he was like, sometimes I feel like I could still do a call from my couch.
Yep.
If they basically brought it to him, I was like, fuck, that'd be Rogie up at Mangawhai in his batch, the full studio in his lounge, coffee in hand, walks out on air, click, fucking 5 to 10, last air breaks play, straight back out into the sunroom.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's
Have his 8 coffee in the morning.
Because there's guys you can make it work. Can make it work now. Like how it would work with breakfast, not sure, but like there's guys that could live on the Gold Coast, right?
Yeah.
Record a show for New Zealand. I mean, what a life.
Yeah.
You could do your show from your apartment on the Goldie, like say you did a drive show, and you just record that every day, live on the Gold Coast, and just, I mean, you could do that now.
Yeah,
I mean,
the toughest thing for you would be figuring out which one of your houses you'd want to be doing the show from. Financially, absolutely bankrupt the fucking business by putting studios in every single one of them. You have more houses than studios that we have currently.
So I could like, well, the kids have left home now.
Yeah.
Well, one of them has. So there's a studio.
Yeah.
Turn that bedroom. Sorry, Grace, your bedroom's now a studio.
I need a B studio.
Yeah, you're on the sofa. Dad, where's my room? Shut up, I'm on air. I'm on air. Shut up, Grace.
Give me another coffee. You're in the presence of greatness. Fuck off.
Now, pulling the curtain back, I thought we'd drag Rogie in today because we're actually recording the podcast in our radio studio. I've got a bit of shit going on with sick kids and stuff like that, so we're in a little bit earlier, and I saw Roger. I was like, fuck, we've got to get... is that laptop still unlocked?
It's shut down, but it's good now. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
sweet.
yeah.
I was like, we've got to get Roger in because I have actually had a wee squiz revisit my war story for today, and it is a fucking belter to the point where I don't even reckon Rog will be comfortable reading it out. So, Rog, would you like to read it out?
So, is this from Johnny? Johnny Bollocks in Canada?
Yes.
Is it, okay. Howdy, fellas and fellettes. This is a yarn that is in the category of sex education. About 32 years ago when I was a teenager, my then girlfriend, let's call her Sonia, because that's
her
the
fucking name,
and I were studying together at her place after school. Let's just say the books were not getting much attention, and we decided to take things upstairs. Things got amorous, and we entered Pound Town. Jeez, I wish I could tell the story on here. In fact, Jay, we used to, didn't we, back in the 90s? Having given her the best few minutes of her life, and just after things came to a climax, I fell on top of her. I was exhausted and obviously very pleased with myself, having turned my plums into raisins. All is good, so I thought. Fuck. She wasn't moving. Not even a little. What? Not at all. My mind went to the obvious. Come on, stop fucking around, I said nervously. Time slowed down. Yeah, that's fucking hilarious. You got me, I said. This time hoping that she would open her eyes and we would laugh about it. I lifted her arm up and let it go, and it flopped down onto the bed.
Time for a sack, shovel, bag of lime.
There was nothing there. At this point, we're about a minute since the baby batter was released. I dipped my fingers into the glass of water on the bedside table and flicked the water onto her face. Not so much as a twitch. Fuck! Splash some more. Nothing. Fuck! 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 What can I do? Smelling salts, which we've got some in the studio.
They are fucking ruthless.
Mate, if this doesn't wake her up, nothing will.
They had to bring a corpse back to life.
This is so bad. Smelling salts. Didn't have any of that. Perfume, he thought, will do the trick. Wafted that right under her nose. Sorry, I'm just wrong. And here we go. Wafted that right under her nose and nothing. So we are now 2.5 minutes since the deed ended.
Oh my
And
God.
she seems dead. Time stood still. She was dead. I'd killed her.
What the fuck?
As this realization enters my mind, but I have not pre-read this, so as this
This is the Jeopardy
this
we
is
love.
amazing. As this realization enters my mind, I hear the front door of her house, and it's her dad who's just got home. Her dad, let's call him Jerry,
Because that's his fucking name.
was this little mad Irish bastard, ex-British military, and normally a jovial chap, but had a mean fucking temper and even a shorter fuse. How will I explain this to him without being killed by this psychotic leprechaun? The following sequence of thoughts actually inhibited my brain. I'll go downstairs and just explain, hey, Jerry, I've got to go right now. Sonia's upstairs dead. I fucked her to death. This is a very well-written story. No. Hey, Jerry, I shagged your daughter to death. No, won't say that. Hey, Jerry, I killed your daughter with my cock. Oh my God.
What the fuck do you say,
bollocks.
though?
I'm a dead man. Just as we hit 5 minutes since launch sequence was initiated, Sonia moved for the first time.
Oh, she's back.
Somewhat confused for several reasons. Why was I standing pacing around the room naked and in a state? Why was her face wet? And why is there an overpowering smell of cool water in the air? Turns out she had experienced what I would later find out that French poets would call a le pet mort, or a little death. When some women approach climax, they black out.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
I'd like to say it's because I'm awesome in the sack, but it turns out her blood pressure was elevated by being slightly dehydrated. Sonia wasn't dead. Jerry was none the wiser, so sweet as fellas. Sorry, this was a longie. Love the show. I am ploughing through the back catalogue at Max Chickens. And then I will join the Sniper Elite and work through these episodes. Go well, go long. Holy shit. Oh my God. That is a hell of a story.
That is so wild.
And that's how you get to #1 on Spotify.
See, this is, and because
Wow.
this is kind of like your first sort of dalliance into
yeah.
that is the level in which those stories are written. And I'm like you,
No.
I read them for the first time because we reserve the
it's
right to
best.
be surprised
No,
as well.
you just want to be surprised by it.
Did you think
Yeah.
she was gone for all money?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. Because, I mean, like, why, what a story to have.
A mate of mine-
And
5 minutes. Is,
Yeah, like-
that may as well have been 5 decades
Yeah.
for him in that moment.
And then the dad, who is ex-British military. So I mean, he would have shot him, wouldn't he?
Yeah, and
Like
then,
the
she,
dad.
and then she would have come round,
Yeah.
and then he would have been fucked.
Real
Yeah.
Romeo and Juliet scenario, isn't it?
It is. It is. I mean, I'm not going to read the next one, but they're like Charles the Black and Decker Pecker Wrecker. I mean,
That's on the podcast with me tomorrow.
Yeah. In all honesty, a friend of mine, he was slightly older, and I used to work with him when I first basically went into hospitality as a young buck. And he was having sex with a lady, and she had a brain aneurysm and died during sex.
Oh,
Yeah, fuck.
my
Proper
gosh.
fucked her to death. Crazy. And it was like, he was like the pandemonium of the actual scene where, because her kids were downstairs, adult children, sort of like in their 20s or whatever.
no.
And so he was like, fucking, when it happened, like no pulse, anything. And so he fucking peeled downstairs in the nude and was like, call a fucking ambulance, your mum's dead. And then the kids were like watching TV, are like, what the fuck? Some bloke's around here pumping my mum and apparently she's dead. So they called the cops, locked him up, locked him in the room. And so he was trying to bring her back to like full resus. Ambo turns up. Ambo can't go in until the cops turn up. And so the Ambo's just waiting there outside because they don't go in unless the scene's clear because they're unaware of what's going on.
Yeah.
Because all they've basically been told is there's a guy upstairs who's killed my mum. And so, yes, fuck, it was absolutely horrific. Scarred to this day.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, and then also you've got like, he's not scot-free until they do the autopsy.
Exactly,
No,
yeah.
no.
So he was, because they were
Was
like...
he arrested?
Arrested,
Yeah.
yeah. Arrested, and they're looking for ligature marks and have you put drugs into his system? What's going on here?
Yeah.
And
yeah.
they'd only been seeing each other for a real short amount of time. That's fucking wild.
Oh, that's a wild story. Wow. Crazy. Well, it's been that is an absolute pleasure reading that story.
I knew you'd love it.
From the what's his name, Johnny Bollocks in Canada.
Good on you, Johnny Bollocks,
Johnny
mate.
B.
What
So
an
good,
absolute
mate.
treat to have Rogie read it
A
out.
pleasure reading your story, Johnny.
Cheers, Rogie.
The
Boys.
only podcast that has stories like these. Not for radio.
Okay, can you read that little bit of feedback there, Jay?
Yes.
Because it does involve you.
From Phil Verling. Hi, lads and ladettes. Heard Jay's story about hospital and thought I'd send mine in. Not to scare, but to encourage men especially to pay attention to their health. This one's about how playing pool back in 2022 led me to an eye test, then straight to A&E, and within a few weeks, I was in for 9 hours of being a human game of operation for awake brain surgery.
Oh my gosh. This is a wild episode so far.
Yeah, tried to keep it as short as possible, and the message is rather simple, especially for men. Don't ignore weird symptoms or put off a checkup. If I hadn't gone in for that eye test, I mightn't be here writing this now. Story attached below. Feel free to run with it if you think it's fit. Get well soon, Jay. Thanks to all the team. You helped me massively with my recovery. Cheers, Phil. Fuck, imagine that. We're tasked with, okay, guys, Not for Radio is going to bring you out of the weeds on this one. Fucking leave me there.
Geez, I tell you, his recovery would have been a lot faster if he had chosen something else.
Oh, yeah. So this is the story. Would you like me to recount the tale?
Yeah, okay.
So it's 2022, just coming out of the spicy cough era. Life was getting back to normal. I was in my buddy's office playing pool one night. Every time I leaned over the table to take a shot, I'd get this weird sensation, like the back of my eye was stretching. Pretty fucking hard to explain, but odd enough that I decided, for once in my life, to be a grown-up and book in an eye test. Maybe I just needed some glasses. Optician runs me through the usual test. Yeah, no, your eyesight's fucking ding-dong, but... big pause. Your optic nerves are swollen, and that's not good. So here's a letter. Go to the A&E first thing in the morning, and they'll be expecting you. Grand. We'll just go home, vomit with worry, not sleep a fucking wink. Thanks, doc. So I rock up to A&E, lovely doctors, lots of machines. Eye drop so strong I can't even focus on the text on my phone, and eventually I meet my doctor. Cool fella, name of Martini. That's a fucking cool last name.
Man, I wish I'd thought of that for one of my kids.
That's a fucking cool last name. I changed my middle name to Martini. Martini's my middle name.
Martini Reeve.
Yeah,
It's got a ring to it, too.
It does. He checks me over and says, great news, your eyesight is perfect. Then I see him huddling with colleagues doing their best scrubs and house style impressions. And he comes back, do you get headaches? No, not really, I reply. You get a bit of ringing in the ears? Yeah, sometimes on the right side. Have you ever blacked out? Nope. Random vomiting? Nope. Vision loss? Nope. He looks at me half shocked, half impressed. Right, well, your brain's swollen. You're staying for the weekend until we can scan it. Fuck. Sweet. I'll just lie here on a trolley and shit myself then.
How does your brain just swell?
I don't know. CT scan comes back. Yeah. There's a mass or something in your brain. That's how it fucking swells.
It's running out of room.
Yeah. There's a massive something in your brain. Might be something, might be nothing. We'll need an MRI. MRI Monday morning. Side note, being in an MRI is like listening to Dragonette on repeat for an hour. Funny story about the MRI. Brad, the boss here, he had the rust and had to go in for an MRI. And so they said to him, what radio station do you want to listen to? And so obviously working at the Rock, he's like, put the Rock on. But at this time, we were switching frequencies from the one that we've been on forever to this other wild, outlandish one that we were pushed onto. So there was just a repeating message that was every 15 minutes. Richie Simpson going.
No, it was on repeat at this point.
Oh.
It was every 15 minutes to start off with, but as it got closer, it played more frequently.
Yeah.
So if you were on that station, because they were running dual frequencies at one point, and then like closer to the end date of switching one off, the frequency of that message became more and more. When he went in the MRI, it was on repeat. And
All
it was
the
a
same.
37-second trailer.
On repeat, and the poor prick was
For
in
an
there for a
hour.
fucking hour hearing Richie tell him to change his own station that he
With
runs.
some shit gag in the middle that wasn't funny after 3 listens, let alone 300.
Poor prick. Anyway, the doctors and nurses kept staring at me in amazement, walking around, joking, showing no symptoms while lugging this fucking tumour in my skull. I nicknamed it Meg, as in Family Guy. Like, shut up, Meg. They sent me home for Christmas with steroids for the swelling, anti-seizure meds, and a lovely stack of pills. Back in February for surgery, 9 hours on the table. They kept me conscious. Squeaky toy in one hand. I fucking hate it how they do this. I mean, I understand why they keep you awake through brain
My mate
surgery.
had it this year.
Yeah. Fuck that.
They want you, so you can't obviously feel anything. You can feel like a bit of movement and stuff, but they want you talking and moving. I think it's your left hand normally.
Yeah.
So that if they go too far, you'll lose movement in your hand. But if you don't go too, like if you just go a little bit too far, then you can recover and your brain will work around all the nerves or whatever. And then obviously you talking will let them know whether or not they'll fuck your speech up.
Imagine that you just, because this is just where my intrusive thoughts go. So they're in there and they're like, so tell us about your breakfast this morning. So this morning I got up and I made the boys some porridge. And then I got some blueberries and put it in there. And that's exactly what I was thinking for breakfast.
Doug, take your finger out. Sorry.
Big Roger's back.
Well, just the guy that was playing the violin.
Oh,
that story
yes,
while he
yes.
was getting brain surgery.
Yes.
Well, he could play the violin anyway, but they keep on going just to make sure
It's
you're
a
okay.
pretty fucking cool added extra
But
to
at
chuck in the
least,
brain surgery.
But what other upgrades have you got in there? Plug me in, dog. Give me the full Musk special.
I want cruise control in 6 accents.
I'd go for languages, but
Yeah.
interesting, cool.
Nah,
Just
accents
the
only.
accents.
Just
No,
keep people
well,
guessing.
It's
Where are
like,
you from?
It's easier than learning an instrument at our age, isn't it? Brain surgery, come to, you learn an instrument.
Yeah, exactly. Plug
Otherwise,
it
it'll
in.
take you years.
That'll happen before we die, I reckon. You'll just be able to pay for the chip, $5,000, plug
Yeah.
it in, and you can speak full Spanish.
Neuralink. It'll
Well, I heard you guys yesterday talking about that African language. That's
Should we play that? That was my
freaky
radio
shit.
show.
I
Might
actually
still have
thought
it
at
here.
first that was a joke.
No.
No.
So this, to fill in the gaps, this East
Yeah.
African
Yes.
hunter-gatherer
Yeah.
village has the most difficult language, they say, to learn because they speak certain words, but then they have clicks and pops,
Yeah.
and they also imitate the animals in which they're hunting. So say, for example, I use a real shit example of it yesterday. It's kind of like, hey, Dunc, we're going to get the boat, and then we're going to head out, and
Yeah.
we're going to go get some fish of war. Then might as well go home, and then we'll put it into the deep fry it, and then we'll chop it up and have it for lunch. And then, hey, do you feel like some few beers with that? Like,
No,
it's the toughest thing to.
Yeah, I heard you talking about it, I thought, and then you played the audio. I thought, that's actually a good gag.
Yeah.
But it's actually true.
No, this is the I've got it here.
Oh,
I mean,
okay, yeah.
Well, have you? I
Yeah.
just Googled it and I couldn't find it, so maybe it's not true.
It's another one, a little bit of JST added to it. So this is the.
Because it could just be a good gag, eh? Like,
Hey, he's he's pretty much a bone through his nose,
Yeah.
short of actually being proper legit. But this
Yeah.
is yeah.
Ale baya a ngci mama ko baya a u ama ko ale
Imagine going to the local pub with all them jokers, then they would sound like when everyone's 7 beers deep. Sound like you.
All those blokes off Police Academy in one spot at one time.
It's real. Yeah. That old movie, The Gods Must Be Crazy.
Yes.
It took me back to that. Yeah.
It's exactly what it is.
And it
Fuck,
click
that's
used
a
to
great
click.
throwback. Yeah. Do you remember that film?
He
The
might be
Gods-
too young.
Oh,
how
mate.
old are you now?
Do you
You might.
remember that?
40.
Yeah, no, he won't remember it.
So
no.
The Gods Must Be
Yeah.
Crazy
That's
is
it.
this incredible film. It was
It's
done
like,
on
it's pretty shit.
So
But
basically,
it's pretty good. Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
the premise of it is there's an African tribe out
Yeah.
in the middle of
Is this the
fucking.
one when they get the Coke bottle?
Yes.
I
Yeah,
have
it
seen
drops
it.
out of the plane.
Yes. Yes. And that causes a massive argument.
Yeah. And it's and
throw it
they-
at each other and
Yeah.
fucking bang each other on their head, and they all start crying and shit.
and they talk in clicks.
Yeah,
So that reminded me of that.
there you go.
Some would say this would be easier to listen to if we all did the same thing.
Yeah.
I've got to go, guys. My
Okay.
daughter's phoning me. Sorry.
All right. See you, mate. Just crashed the rock unit again. I saw her. She was going out.
Driving it, so shit.
You didn't teach her to drive, did you?
Well, I'll just see.
Should be good then.
See, might get a live FaceTime here.
Oh my gosh, imagine if it is.
Okay.
Content, baby.
If she answers.
I thought she was FaceTiming you. I was like, she definitely crashed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, there she is.
You all right?
Yeah, I was telling you that I made it.
You're live. You're live with
Atta girl.
live on the Not
Well
for
done.
Radio podcast. Daughter Grace, there you
Made
go.
it. Well done, Gracie.
There you go.
Well done. Take that as a win.
Oh my gosh, it's too good.
Scariest thing to drive.
That thing there.
Scary.
Why?
Well, it's huge.
It's a good bit of kit, the old BYD Shark 6.
Yeah, I'll teach
Good
you how
on
to
you,
park
Roger.
it
Good on you,
properly,
Grace.
Roger. Yeah. Okay, so back to it. In for surgery, 9 hours on the table. They kept me conscious, squeaky toy in one hand, monitor on my arm, while the surgeon scooped away like he was after a cone of fucking soft serve ice cream. I had to answer questions, tell stories, name dates, quote movies, basically talk shit for 9 hours while Hannibal Lecter tucked in behind me.
So bizarre.
Woke up, tickety-boo, walking the halls the next day. I was in the stroke ward where some people couldn't even blink for themselves, so I had no right to feel sorry for myself and walked out of hospital 5 days later. 6 weeks of radiotherapy, 5 days a week, 2 rounds of chemo, lots of vomiting, and then I was fucking mint again. During recovery, I listened to nothing but comedy, including your show, and it was an essential medicine. So fucking other than that, boys, I'm sweet as. Also, to echo your comments, anyone who abused hospital staff, especially because of race, should be fucking thrown out of the place. Without people from different countries, our hospitals would not work. And if you're unfortunate enough to wait in A&E for a few hours before being seen, it's because there's some poor cunt ahead of you that is much, much worse. Up the waz. Cheers from Ireland.
That is such a good shout, that last line there. But picture this. Imagine if they weren't fucking there and you went to hospital.
There would be no one there.
Exactly.
It'd be a ghost town.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You wouldn't get looked after.
Yeah. It's crazy. I don't know. There was rolling strikes recently, and I don't know what the answer is. Obviously, because I'd be fucking throwing out some form of solution, but there just needs to be greater respect placed upon people that are looking after us and educating us. Because an uneducated, unhealthy country or unhealthy society, an uneducated society is a shit place to be.
Well, smack my ass and call me Susan. It's Jay and Dunc on Not for Radio.
Thank you, Susan. I have got a great piece here. And so the premise for this bit is this joker has just jumped back in his car after having an interaction with a couple in a pharmacy, I believe it is. And he's retelling the story. And I don't know, man, after listening to it, all I want to do is quit everything, get on a plane and go and have a beer with this guy because he sounds like a hell of a time.
So I go into my pharmacy so that I can get some refills on my medication. And I'm someone that when I get startled, I will just say stuff and just keep saying stuff if the energy's right. And anyway, I open the door and I am greeted with this punch in the face of this horrible smell. And as I open the door and I'm hit with it, I went, oh God, what is that smell? And there is this husband and wife standing there. Husband's like 6'1", dressed like a tradesman, husky guy, and his wife is like 5'3", very petite. And he looks at me with this twinkle in his eye. This is the greatest day of this man's life. And he goes, "What's it smell like?" And I'm like, "Oh, it smells like a gut-shot elk near a sewer grate." He roars with laughter, and he elbows his wife, who is now looking at me, and she is just red in the face, and the ghost is leaving her body. And I cue in as the husband is just like laughing really hard. I'm like, "Was that you? Are you okay? There is a clinic right there." And I was like, and now at this point, the husband's laughing. She's got a smile on her face, you know, and it's kind of a tentative smile, but she's starting to get that twinkle in her eye as she's kind of, because again, the energy, everyone's laughing. And I was like, this is not a well-ventilated area. You got to be careful with something like that. And now at this point, big smile. She's in on it, okay? So it's like before people get like offended, like, "Oh, you're an asshole." But then I was like, this is not a well-ventilated area. You got to be careful with that. God forbid someone's going down on you. You'll kill them. At this point, it looked like somebody wrapped a rope around the ankles of her husband and yanked. He is on the floor. He let out a yelp like a chihuahua that got its like skin caught in the zipper of the purse it rides in. And she laughed, she laughed, and then she snorted. And when she snorted, she went to cover her mouth, but as she went to cover her mouth, she farted again, to which she laughed and snorts again and farts again. To where I'm like, "Oh, God, she's getting us with both barrels. Head for the hills." And I start hobbling for the door. Her husband is on all fours, and he sounds like he's having a stroke. He's like, "Oh, Jesus. Stop talking. I can't breathe." To the woman, if you happen to see this, God bless you. What an amazing day. We all had a good laugh. The husband eventually recovered as he is like crawling around the room for a chair, trying to locate oxygen. So I go into my pharmacy. So
Mate, that is fucking well done.
Oh, there is nothing better that they spot the sweet spot they're in and they just double down and keep pressing the button, eh?
Shit.
Oh, far out.
Fuck that poor.
She's getting us with both barrels. Oh my gosh, it gives me life.
So good.
Warning. This podcast may cause unintentional projectile shitting. Not for radio. With Jay and Dunc.
Do we just want to double down on the clips right now?
Yes.
Okay,
Back to back.
There was this bit here we've actually played before, but I think it's worth revisiting. This is Theo Von at his absolute greatest. I was giggling about this to Jay because I'd found the longer version of it. There's two edits. There's a short edit and there's a long edit. And so kind of like us, sometimes we get voice memos or messages sent to the show. That's quite a big part of his podcast. And just the turn of phrase that Theo uses during this is just elite.
I was gutted because he recently was in New Zealand and I missed his show, and apparently because Joe Damon went along because they've randomly become mates, and he was like, just the cadence in which his brain operates and where he pulls shit from, it's nonsensical but makes complete sense when he's saying it, and the references that he uses, he's like. So it's like we're doing this thing at the moment with similes with my kids. And so it's like she crept up the stairs like a mouse or whatever. And he's like 50 steps past that.
Yeah.
He's like, "You're like a fucking reverse slinky with some air muffs on it." You know, it's like, what the fuck are you even talking about?
I was watching a clip last night and I was like, I wonder if we're going to do double Theo Von in the podcast today. And he was interviewed. I don't know who the bloke was, but I think he's like a famous Black American, maybe I don't know, actor or something. And he was saying that he's got a huge collection of ducks, and they're black ducks. And Theo Von hadn't heard about black ducks.
What?
He's like, what? He's pulling them over. He's like, hey, you seen lots of mallards? And then he's like, look at you, Mallard Luther King. And old mate's just absolutely buckled. But anyway, here's this bit that I wanted to play. And apologies if you heard it before. Nah, actually, I'm not apologizing.
Nah, it's fucking funny. I've heard it a million times.
I've been talking to this girl for like 2 years, and it turns out I got her pregnant. After that all happened, the word got around, and somehow it turns out that she's my first cousin. Any advice would help, and thank you so much.
Wow, dang, brother, that's ooh. You're going to be raising a dang lizard, homie. You can't. I mean, I haven't looked at a chart recently. I don't know the genetic legalities of that. But, dude, yeah, I mean, they say, you know, don't pee where, or don't eat where you, or don't piss where your family is, or whatever that old saying is, dude. I feel like you've gone past that at this point. Having a child with a cousin, I think, at the very least, it's going to need glasses. I think monitor the child's gestation closely. Make sure it's tracking. Bring it up. Can you have a child with your cousin or not? 40% say yes. But do you have any information on that? Oh, I should look it up. Who the hell am I even talking to? Dear God, out of my mind today. Can you have a child
out of my mind
with one cousin? But it is important to understand that such relationships carry a slightly elevated risk of genetic disorders compared to unrelated parents. You know, make sure it doesn't stand straight up when the moon is full and shit like that. I'd keep tabs on it. I'd hit a couple high notes near it on an instrument, see if its eyes turn red or anything. But you're just going to have to keep tabs on it. Yeah, I would just stay conscious of that. Recognize you have an at-risk child. Hire a night nurse or lifeguard or whatever you got to get. Sometimes lifeguards they'll work overnight. They're cheaper. They know CPR. They don't know a lot of the shit that the nannies know. If you win this round of DNA roulette, brother, I'd leave the rest of the bullets in the chamber, baby, when it comes to family. Here we go.
Oh, my gosh. Oh, fuck.
Hit a couple of high notes on an instrument to see if its eyes go red. Fuck, he is such an absolute treasure, eh?
He really is.
Snipers, reload. Another war story incoming. Eyes on target, scopes dialed in. Let's see who hits the mark.
Holy shit.
Today's been great.
It really has. This one is from the UK, from our buddy Macca, under the category of electricity. Here's a quick yarn about being young, dumb, and full of cum me. Back when I was an electrician's apprentice in Greater Manchester. Young me, known as Macca, because that's my fucking name, all of 20, was up a rickety ladder in a drafty warehouse, just ready to house another fabric company, so luckily empty of any contents near the main centre of Manchester. My work boot squeaked on the metal rungs and my tool belt jiggled with every move, and I was tasked with connecting a sprinkler fire alarm. Very simple enough job, right? No, fucking wrong. Very, very, very fucking wrong. The relay box set perched atop a pipe. Picture a mainline pipe. This pipe supplied branches of the sprinkler system. So it was large enough that you could hang off it with your fucking arm wrapped firmly around it, and high enough to make my arsehole clench up like a seal's butt when diving to 300 metres. The warehouse was quiet, save for the distant hum of lorries on the M60 motorway. I muttered to myself, right, just wire this up, no bother. My mate Dave, because that's his fucking name, the senior spark, was off grabbing a brew, leaving my stupid fucking ass to it. How's that just midday? Just pint. Yeah. The relay needed linking to the main alarm pedal, but in a rush to impress, forgot one crucial step, isolating the sprinkler system. So I reached up, screwdriver in hand, tiptoes on the top rung, one arm wrapped around this fucking death trap, and shaking like a shitting dog, I started fiddling with the relay. A faint drip, drip echoed below, but I ignored it, too focused on the wires. Red to red, black to black, easy, right? Then, whoop. Now, your mind thinks water, right? Nope, that fucker comes later. The whoosh was from my fucking nose ears burning instantaneously within burning instantaneously in a millisecond. My right arm had suddenly become stronger than fucking Chuck Norris and was clamped tighter than a smackhead holding onto an ounce of Class A on a fairground ride. Yep, you guessed it. This was 240 volts of the very finest three-phase, pure get-up-and-go juice pulsing through my body like I was being violated by Bubba in cell block 8. It was on this day, and ever since I've been introduced to anal piles.
He got fucking piles of being electrocuted.
The kind that can only be produced on the rim of your arsehole by either contact with heavy-duty electricity or wiping your arsehole with a lump of freshly deposited lava.
His butthole bubbled.
Blew his own arse out.
Wow.
Luckily, a jet of water blasted from the pipe, soaking me from head to toe and momentarily disengaging my arm, which by now looked as pumped as if I'd been constantly banging one out for a fortnight, surrounded by biologically wasted socks and tissues. The sprinkler system, still live, turned the warehouse into a rainy Mancunian nightmare that day. And I screamed, and I mean screamed, toppling off the ladder, my high-vis jacket now clinging to me like a wet, oversized condom. Ask me how I know? Well, it was on this day that I also learned how to scream like a girl, scrambling off the floor as the alarm screeched to life, triggered by the water pressure drop. Dave burst back in, cuppa in hand, and immediately... Oh, he was actually having just...
He's
a
getting
get a
coffee.
Yeah, sorry. Cuppa in hand, and immediately started to double over laughing. I'm 53 years old now. I still have fucking piles, and that would put a vineyard to shame.
His nickname should be Harvest.
Oh my God. And I can move mountains with my right arm. Up the fucking waz.
Wow.
Jesus.
Very lucky. Very lucky.
Very lucky.
It's a hell of a belt. Blow your bumhole out. And on that note, what a podcast.
Banter, stories, and just fucking laughing all the time.
So, like we said at the start of the podcast, get amongst that chance to come and see us at the Rock 2000, become Sniper Elite, unlock all the other episodes, get it ad-free. We're on YouTube now is the other thing I need to tell you. Like, follow, subscribe, all that other junk that people say at the end of these things.
What an absolute treat to have the big dog.
Oh, yeah, that was awesome. Oh, by the way, as well, we got an email this morning saying there's a few more of our sunglasses. So if you're in the UK, and I know they're punchy, but they're bloody good sunglasses as far as quality goes. We just definitely didn't want to make any of that a shit house. You have a look in the episode notes and you'll be able to see a link to buy those.
Also, worth probably fucking sliding into Sam's DMs, who's coming out for the Rock 2000, and just telling them to get them all here and he can mule them back and you'll save yourself $30 in postage.
We did say we're going to call him. Maybe we'll...
tomorrow.
Well, tomorrow we'll call him the winner and the next winner as well. So you've literally only got like just over about 24 hours, there, give or take a couple of hours, to get yourself in the mixer. And you can go through, and if you want to just knock out a whole bunch of Sniper Elite episodes, the Monday, Tuesday ones, you'll see they're labelled Sniper Elite. That's where all the keywords are to get in the mixer for this trip from anywhere on the globe to join us at the Rock 2000. The big old countdown. So accommodation, flights, all that sort of stuff, spending money.
I'm looking forward to that. Looking forward to calling somebody tomorrow. I wonder where they will be.
Who knows?
Yeah, I just saw an iceberg flip upside down in Greenland, and I was like, "That's a fucking cool last time to get out of there." Yeah, that's a cool time to get out of there. The houses look pretty cool. Fucking cold though.
Cheap now.
Yeah.
Have a great rest of your Thursday, and we'll catch you tomorrow for another Not For Radio. Go well, go long.
And up the waz.
Up the waz.